Greetings, welcome to day 66 of Project Dig. Thank you for joining. Project Dig is a 2D multiplayer automation survival sandbox game that I am developing entirely here on Twitch and uploading all the VODs to YouTube. We're making a custom C++ game engine. You can see all the libraries that we're using over here. And we've been working on just trying to get the foundation of that engine set up so that way hopefully before too long we can start working on the gameplay logic itself, or like actual game related things. So we're coming off of scripting and now we're kind of looking at hash maps and trying to upgrade to a more performant hash map implementation, since the standard library hash maps are kind of, jack of all trades. They can do everything okay, but we want some more specific stuff to try to take advantage of our situation that we're making a game, and we know what we're doing. So we'll kind of know what we're doing. So yeah, I started pulling in Google dense hash maps yesterday, and we got that working just a little bit. So we're going to continue to work on that. Let me look. I think unordered map. Yes, okay, good. So we did one yesterday. One change where we moved this entity groups member variable was a standard unordered map, and we changed it to be our hash map. And if we look at that, that is defined as a dense hash map. Hey, Mind Rage, welcome. And yeah, so that's good. One thing that we do need to do that makes things a little trickier with migrating is, let me go to the world.cpp, is whenever we set things up, we need to call, so whenever we create this entity groups, before we use it, we need to set the empty key. And so that's a key that is reserved specifically if, we're not allowed to, like, that's for any empty, I don't know exactly. I don't know. It's the empty key. We need to set it. And then there's the deleted key. I think how they work it is like there are basically these buckets. And so we kind of reserve that. So any place that we're using a hash map, we now will need to set the empty key, and if we are deleting values from it or erasing, then we need to set the deleted key as well. Besides that though, it should be a fairly easy migration over to this new system. I wonder if we are using sets at all. I think we are. Maybe not. Good sets. That's not quite it. There's a lot of set things in here, but not actual standard sets. Okay, so maybe that's not the best way to look for it. Perhaps set. There we go. Unordered set. So we are using it in one place right now, which is this manifold IDs. where we insert. So we're just making sure that they are unique here, and that's it. So yeah, I guess we should probably just do that one really quick since there's only one. So do a hash set to uint32, and I believe we need to set the ID. Set the empty key. We don't need to set a deleted key since we never delete any. We'll say 0 is the empty key, because it contains, if we look, insert manifold ID. The entity index. So wait, what is this? It's the two entity in. Yeah, it's both of the entity indices being combined, but it's technically impossible for them both to be 0. So yeah, because we make sure that they're not the same. So they can't possibly both have 0, right? I don't think so. I think that should be fine. Who's your barber? Jessica. Yep. Good old Jessica. I don't actually go to a barber. I go to a salon. I recently started doing that. It's so nice. It's so good. I used to go to like Great Clips, and it just that like I'm paying like $5 more for this girl Jessica to like spend probably twice as long on my hair, and she actually like cares that it looks good, and yeah, she's awesome. I end up paying more now because I tip her because she's so good, but whatever. Okay, so we fixed that. Oh wait, actually, hold up. Let's go back to that physics file. Yes. I wanted to. Oh, wait. Where are we including unordered set? Facial hash. Oh, does this use an unordered set? No. Then why do I include it? Do I have it in the HPP file? Double check. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I have that in there. Okay, well, we'll get rid of it. Here in Jamaica, they cut your hair and kick you out. Nice. I mean, that's if they do a good job, then that's good. Like, yeah, I don't mind just having my hair cut and that's it. And honestly, oftentimes I prefer not to talk that much. I like to just, relax for a little bit, and let them do their thing. But whenever I would go to these great clip places, they just like don't carry whatever. Like they're just like trying to do as high volume as they can. And yeah, it's just very different experience. Okay, so let's go look at our unordered maps now that we fixed that one unordered set. So yeah, the plan for today is to just go through these, fix these up. Like I have said the last few days, we're going to try to time box the amount of time that we're spending on projectDIG to about 2 hours every day, since I need to be working on a Korea update So in about an hour and 45 minutes or so, we will switch over to Korea. And Korea's my previous game that I worked on for many years, and I have like a big update planned for end of next month. Okay, so yeah, we're just replacing all of these unordered maps with the hash map. And then I need to look at how this is being used. The indices. This one is unfortunately used in a lot of places, huh? And I think that we are erasing, so that means that we need to set up two things here. One, the unordered set, and two, the delete, sorry, not unordered. The empty key and the deleted key. There we go. Go into here. So what we should do to start with is set it up in here. So we have our indices. So let's set our empty key to be 0. And then I'm thinking the deleted key maybe can be uint32 max. So let's kind of just take a look at this. What is indices exactly? We look, it's the entity index. Oh wait. That's the wrong view. Yeah, there we go. So, it's a uint32t. What if I could fix this? So basically, our indices is a mapping of our entity index to the index for that component. So this actually won't work because I'm pretty sure if we go look at our entity.h, we technically can have index 0. That's not preserved. Reserved. Only type 0 is reserved. And so it's possible for us to have index 0 on an entity ID. So that means that this set empty key 0 is wrong. What we actually need to do, I think probably the better way to do this is to make it so that we have a uint32, I mean, it doesn't really matter, uint32 max minus 1 and uint32 max. We know that these will never be used because our entity index, we go look at it, entity index is 14 bits. So we only go up to 14 bits. So we're not even close to being uint32 max. But that's what that's the type that we take here. So it's good. And I think that's it. That's all we have to worry about. Is like, look at the example, or sorry, look at how we are using it. If we are erasing, then we need to set the deleted key along with the empty key. And then move on to the next one. Here we use a lot of maps. Hashmap. Okay, dang, yeah, that's a lot. Programs. I don't think we ever delete any programs or textures right now. Only whenever we are shutting it all down and destroying it. So that's fine. Textures. Oh, we don't even use textures anymore. Okay. Well, we can get rid of that. I was thinking we might not. Programs. We find it. So I don't think we ever erase here. Doesn't look like it. Are there any VODs talking about the game mechanics for Dig? There are, but they're not quite uploaded. Well, they are uploaded. I need to go through them all. There's like 55 days where we did all the pre-production talking about it. In the meantime, if you go to Dig, that will take you to this page, dig.seedsgames.com. And then you can look at the design, and I've ported over a lot of the design for like how it's going to work. And here, that one's not that useful, but like here's researching or viruses, survival, etc. I probably should make like a, minute-long introduction to the project. That'd probably actually be a good idea, huh? Yeah, and then you're also welcome to check out this if you want. Skinny of it is that projectDIG is a 2D multiplayer automation survival sandbox game. What that looks like is side view, like Terraria sandbox game, but with Factorio elements added to it, with the automation, and on top of that, physics. So kind of the goal of the game is moving items along conveyor belts and firing them with item cannons and having them fall down holes or whatever, industrial sized fans, whatever. Moving items to a factory that you build that processes those items, converts them into resources that you can more readily use, and then you can do researching, and that's kind of the gameplay loop. And that's all taking place on this post-apocalyptic world that you have been sent to survey and try to report back to the scientist that sent you, and you are a robot. And that's it in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. Okay, so we need to figure out what this UN32 is exactly, so we can set the empty key. Let's also look at this other stuff here. Sprites. We clear it. I remember reading about that some. Sprites, clear no resize. This resizes the hash map without... This clears the hash map without resizing it down to the minimum bucket count. We might actually want to keep that. Clear deleted key. Nah, we probably don't want that. Pretty cool. They allow you to do quite a bit of stuff here. I remember, I think it's clear, and if you pass in zero, no, it's not zero. Which one was it? Maybe it was resize. Hint, if you like pass in 0, then it immediately does it or something. But yeah, I think what we might want in this case is clear no resize, because we don't actually want it to shrink back down, because every single frame we are refilling it, and so that will actually be more performant And we do the same with this, so we might as well change that. So we do need to set the deleted key for those. Figure that out in a few. And then there's text. So actually, how are we calculating the group UID? It is the texture ID shifted over, and then that ID. Okay. So 0, 0 is a possibility here. How should we do that? What's a safe? Let's go down. Here we go. Init. Let's just put these at the top. So we have our programs, set empty key. I don't know what that needs to be. And then we're going to have our sprites, set empty key. Which I'm not sure either. And then we need to set the deleted key as well. And then we need to do that with our spine sprites. And what else? I think our texts as well. Fun. Yeah. So programs. Let's just start from the top. What is an invalid program key? It is a UN32 UID. Let's look at where we insert. Find the program UID is the vertex shader ID shifted over with the fragment shader, right? So I'm thinking for that, what we can actually do is, if I recall correctly, BGFX invalid handle is our invalid handle, which is UN32 max. So what we can do here is say that actually, that's pretty nice now that I think about it. Oh wait, no, shifting it over. Yeah. So because our programs are two different, or like our programs, I think most of these are like that. Maybe all of them. They are two different handles that are combined into a single UID. And so basically, like, this is the case for all of them. For the programs, it's the two different shaders, fragment shaders and vertex shaders. They have their own UIDs. We combine them, and that's what the program is. And so that means that since it's two UIDs, we have an invalid handle is always an invalid key. And also all of that range using the invalid handle, that entire like bit basic. Oh, I guess it's all of the bits that are set for it, right? Like, yeah. So all of the numbers where the first, 14 bits are set, that's the invalid handle. I mean, those are all invalid. But then also we can shift it over to 14. So there's technically lots of like invalid IDs in this case. So like Our empty keys can always be, I think, and we'll double check these, but I'm pretty sure they can always just be invalid handle. And then for the deleted keys, what we could do is something like that, shifted over 14 bits, right? Oh, whoops. I guess what we technically need to do is say this is a uint32t, right? If brace enclosed list is not. Oh, whoops. I guess I technically need bgfx k invalid handle. Got it. I mean, another thing we could do is just say uint32 max, right? That's more or less the same thing. I'm just wondering if it's not quite as clear. Maybe what I'll actually do is move all of the deleted keys to be next to each other and put a note here. Say, keys are bgfx handles, and consequently anything with bgfx handle is invalid, such as 32 max. Oops. Okay. So let's just double check all of these, but I'm pretty sure that's good. And then I think we can move on. So, yeah, the group, the sprites is a texture ID and the program ID. So whenever we create a program with two separate shaders, it is given a unique ID as well. So yeah, that's good. And then I'm pretty sure spine sprites is the same thing. Yep. And how about text? Which I think will just be right down here. Font IDX. So each font has its own oh wait, is text uint16? Oh, okay. Glad I looked at that. Okay, so actually that won't quite work because our text is only a uint16. I think what I'll just do is put a invalid handle -1 and make a note here. Technically kind of annoying how I can't do anything with that. uint16, whoops, 16 max. Technically this key could be used, but is extremely unlikely to be. I don't know if I really need that note, but hey, Summith, how's it going? What's up? Okay, so we're done with the render system. That one took a bit. I mean, we were doing multiple, so. So for anyone joining, welcome. What I'm doing is going through all of my hash maps and moving them over to be Google hash maps. So we have this defined up here. and it's a little hard to, or it's a little, I shouldn't say hard, involved to migrate it over, because we need to look at the usage, and if we are setting or if we are deleting or erasing any values from that hash map, then we need to set a delete key. And if we are, yeah, and then also we always need to set an empty key as well. Okay, so these element map, unfortunately, this is kind of annoying because we have to go through a bunch. Like we have to now look for all of the places that we use elemental map as element map, which is only here, fortunately. So we do erase and clear, element group clear, contains. I'm pretty sure I set contains though, so that should work. I'll have to double check that. Why is that not taking? Oh, I changed it, huh? It was an element ID. Doing good besides dying in this heat? Yeah. When I find my code in tons of problem, friends and colleagues come to me speaking words of wisdom. Write and see. Okay, so we need to set this. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Set empty key. Okay, so what is an impossible key here? Fortunately, this one is pretty easy, because if we go to our hash map, sorry, not hash map, hash string, we can see that what we do for this is we have the offset for the 32-bit hash. So anything before this number, because, well, whenever what we do is we, let's see here, where is it at? Yeah, we have an offset. Right? The hash. Yeah. And so that's the starting value. So basically, like, we can just say 0 and 1. So anything where we use a hash map, or sorry, we use a hash string or a hashed ID, we can just say that it's 0, and the delete key, set delete key is 1, and we're good to go. Let's go back to the forward here. So that was the only instance where we have that hash map. Let's look at the style sheet map and style sheet entry map, or style entry map. Here's our style sheet. Style sheet ID is now an element ID, right? So it's the same deal. Yeah, so do I guess I don't have a constructor for this, huh? We need to go add one in. Set empty key again. Same deal, set delete key 1. That should work. Style sheet entry map. Oh, whoops. No void. What was I doing? So that's where we are creating it, right? No. Where are we creating it at? Style table entries. I guess it's in here. The attribute style map. Attributes. There we go. So how do we populate it? Find this attribute. If it actually finds it. Are we deleting from this at all? This whole usage is actually a little complicated, huh? Merge. Master. That where it gets created? Looks like it. I think that's where we set it up. Merge. So we create, so yeah, this is a little tricky because we are creating a new style entry map here from the looks of it. Then we call merge down here, style entry dot entries. And so style entry has its own entry map. Okay, so I guess what I could do is set this inside of our CPP file, style sheet.cpp. So anytime that we create a new style entry, which has a style entry map, I can set the entries here, and that is a hash attribute, right? It's always the hash. Style entry, entries. Style entries, ID hash. Yeah, so again, so the question is, are we actually erasing from this at all? Erase. I don't think so. Double checking, erase. Yeah, I don't think we ever do that. So we just need to set the empty key. How about attributes? Well, we create it here as well. I guess one thing we could do is, because whenever we call this, this is one thing that kind of sucks. Well, actually, maybe we could set it here, attributes. for attribute and styles. So what's the style table? Style table is a soul table. Okay. So wait, where is this being defined at exactly? That is, so I guess we need to make a constructor for a style sheet as well. Same thing, attributes, set empty key 0. And then whenever we are creating, so we need to look at, this is actually a really complicated use case. So I think it's only in the CPP file. Right there. This is actually where we are creating a new one. So I think what I'll do, just to make this a little easier to read, is this. Because this is actually creating a new style entry map. And all the rest of the time, whenever, like here, we are creating a new style entry, and I just say, hey, let's set the entries empty key to be 0 in the constructor. So that's nice. Yeah, so that should all work now. And that takes care of those. So I believe we're back to working on an ordered map. Here we go. Hey, JChemist, what's up? Okay, making some progress here. By the way, I sent you a Patreon message a while ago, just asking how. Wait, I think maybe I'm wrong. Might be wrong. I forget. Messages. Hold up. Sent it to a bunch of people. Okay, never mind. Never mind. But anyways, thanks for being a patron. I thought for some reason you were the 16 tier. It's all good. Nah, I was wrong. It's not that they need to be better, it's that I need to upgrade my memory. It's outdated. Nothing much, just at work. But I'm excited that I started watching you while I was at work. It's very motivating somehow. Nice. Awesome. That is interesting how you find it motivating. I mean, a lot of people do. I'm just like, I wonder in which way is it motivating. Okay, let's look for the use cases here. So we add a new name. Wait, what is this? The name is a hash map. So again, I guess it's just, we need to set it to 0. Reloads. Yeah, that's it. So this is an easy one. Like, Most of our hash maps now are using the hash strings, and so set empty. It's really simple. We just set it to 0. Okay, that was an easy one. Good. Hash map. Pixel vector. I think 0, 0 should be good for that. View. Indices. Pixel vector. Pixel vector is an int. Maybe I could do like -1, -1 or something. Would that even work? I don't know. Contains, select. Was this looking how that's used? We're not really done setting that up yet. I thought I had an empty one, I guess not. Let me go look at this vec2 hash. So yeah, 0, 0 is actually valid, so we don't want that. I was thinking -1, -1. So what's y shifted? So wait, it would be -1 shift 16. I don't even know what that looks like. It's just uint 16. I see. So is that invalid? I guess so. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, that's. Does that make sense? I mean, is that a good a good empty key? I might just do uint32 max. I think that should be fine. Oh, it actually takes a pixel vector. Okay. I should have realized it takes the key. Yeah. Okay, and then it just gets the hash for that. Hash string. So we got rid of that. We're not gonna use that anymore. We do something over here, right? Ordered. I guess we haven't gotten to that yet. Yeah, we're cheating. We're skipping. Cutting in line. Unordered map. We can get rid of that. Okay, we don't use types at all, so we can add that in. Include types. So we are only inserting here. We are not erasing. So this actually kind of sucks. Is there no constructor that takes the empty key? Oh wait, it does. Max items in table. So this one does take it. Max items in table. The input iterator F, and what would we want that to be? Can we? The problem with this is that we don't actually have any like constructor or initializer or anything like that that we could call, since these are static. But they're just, again, they are hash, so we can say it's 0. I wanted to look at the constructors. What exactly is this input iterator? Isn't it just how we want to input it? So I'm just trying to figure out, can we set that equal to like an empty thing or something? Or another possibility is, unfortunately, this is a size, so that wouldn't work always. I was thinking I could always add in a new constructor, but yeah, I want to see if they have an example, or maybe they do. That's okay. I want that. Trying to look for a use case for that. The input iterator. So I'm just thinking, like, is there a way, and maybe I should just look for the normal one. So like a standard map, empty. I guess it's kind of weird because I wanted to say, hey, don't actually insert anything into this. I just want to set the empty key. That's not what I want. It makes sense since you're iterating, or sorry, you're inputting stuff, you have to provide the empty key here, which is why they do that. There must be a way to have like an empty input iterator. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. What would be the best way to do this? Maybe I should try to add a new constructor in. The problem is that then we have a conflict here. Expected max items in table. There must be a good way to do this. Maybe I could just do something like this. And require both, because then that should always be unique. Sounds like then we need to do a rep. Oh, actually, never mind. Oh, wait, maybe we do need to do that. I guess that's all of the default stuff, right? I suppose what we could do is, like, probably the correct way to do this is to actually have keep things consistent here. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave the tabs. Okay, so we do that, and then here we have that line, and so then we can set the empty key to be the empty key value, and we set the deleted key to be the deleted key value, and that should be it. Yeah. What is this explicit keyword again? I never used that myself. Ah. Cannot be used for implicit. I see. Okay. Got it. Got it. I don't know if we want explicit here as well. I guess so. It doesn't really hurt. I mean, we don't really want things to be implicitly cast to that, right? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. I don't see how, but we have two values, right? I don't see how it could ever, right? I don't think we need that. I don't think that makes sense. I take it back. Okay, so I think that's good. And then what we can do is just say 0, 1. These are the unique keys. Explicit is useful for single parameter constructor, right? Yeah. If you have like an integer or like yeah, I don't know what if we have some object that can be constructed that takes a single parameter that's an integer, and then we have a function that takes that object and we pass in an integer, it can implicitly cast it to that object even though maybe we don't want it to. Like we would want it to have some error message or whatever. Okay, so cool. We got that fixed. We are making good progress on this. Yeah, so we're just continuing to replace all of these. This is our entity layers component. Okay, so I guess in this case, what's our entity layer? That's, yeah, so is this a layer? I'm guessing that's what that is. If we look for this, I think that's going to be the case. Entity layers, not that. Let's look for where we use this. Data, render.layer. Yeah, so I think it's safe for us to say that, let's say it's not 1, UN32 max minus 1 and UN32 max should be good. Oh, that's 16, sorry. Can we not do that in here? I guess not, huh? I think maybe we need to do it like this. It has types. That should work, right? Yeah. It should also work without that, right? Like this? Or am I like just mistaken? Pretty sure those are equivalent. But maybe not. I mean, anyway, like, I don't know if this is even the best way to do that, to be honest. We create it here. Maybe what would be better is to do it like this and just say, hey, let's, we have our data. Oh, it doesn't know that that's an entity layers component, huh? Yeah. Okay. I kind of like that more. Like this technically works, right? I don't know. Do I like this more? Maybe I don't. If P, delete P, the condition is redundant, delete can handle null pointer. Really? I thought that if you try to delete something that's already deleted, then it will crash the program. Oh, I see what you mean. Got it. As long as I am setting it to null pointer. Yeah. Okay, true. I see what you mean. So I am setting it to null pointer here, so that means that it won't work. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Actually, I can make that change later. So this is right? Like this will properly call the Hashmap constructor with those two values, the UN16. I'm wondering if I want to do it like this or like this. I don't know. I kind of feel like, I guess another way I could do it is add in a constructor in here, right? This is probably better. I think I like that the most. Let's do it that way. So let's undo these changes. Hey, just down to not having to scroll. Oh yeah. Okay, Hashmap, uint64t. I believe this is once again just it's the path. Yeah, hashtag. So yeah, we can just say this is 0, 1. For these fonts, yeah, 0, 1, 0, 1. Double check on this one. Whoops. Can we do this? Does that work? I don't think that does. It's one unfortunate thing. Oh well, that's fine. We can leave as unordered map. We don't really use that much. And I might end up getting rid of it, to be honest. The font ID. Font ID. Oh. Never mind. Whoops. Font files is a haster. This is not. That we need to say is font size. I see. Interesting. For that, we can say it's a uint32 max -1. We'll never hit these. Hashmap. Oh, we're not on the siege namespace. I see. That's fine. Get in there, guys. Resource. Hashmap. Oh, this is a big one. That is... like, this is used a lot. Once again, static. 0, 1. Those are... a hash string of the file path. Hashmap. Again, it's a hash string. That makes those really easy to fix. I like it. Animation indices. So what's the key? Animation indices. Oh, it's the animation name. Okay, so yeah, again, That's going to be 0, 1, and this is the same thing. Like, that's just a vector of the animation indices. So yeah, this is just the hash map. And we can once again set it to 0, 1. Oh, whoops. That's my bad. Yeah, as long as we are, whenever we use this, so down here we push back the animation indices. So as long as we have set that up properly, it's fine. Resize, here we get the animation indices. So in this case, that's for loading it. We need to make sure that we are setting it up right. We'll just set empty key to 0. Set the deleted key to 1. I think that's probably it. We technically never delete it, so I don't even know if we really need to set the deleted key. Is this a game you plan to release? Yes. Yeah, one day it will be on Steam and maybe even consoles. Hey, Machiavelli. Welcome, by the way. This is projectDIG. Okay, I think we have all of the standard unordered maps removed except for that one render type's name, which I'm okay with leaving. So let's now, we should make sure that we remove all instances of this unordered map except for that one. So let's go through and clean up our includes. And then we can compile that one. Yeah, we can get rid of. Is the render system.cpp the one that we actually need to keep? Okay, cool. So let's yeah, so we should only have one case of that. Yep, awesome. Let's go ahead and do a clean build. That will probably take a minute. Well, we'll take a minute. Put it there. Yeah, Korea. Yep. Yeah, I'm actually going to be working on an update for Korea just in a bit. And yeah, but this is a new project I started kind of at the beginning of this year and have been slowly working on it. Slowly, kind of. I don't know. I've actually spent about 4 months, the majority of the year, working on it. Uh-oh. Got some errors here. Oh no. Doesn't like that. Okay, let's try to figure out which line it's actually complaining about. Okay, here we are. Style entry map. So what does it not like? Uses undefined struct style entry. Uses undefined struct. Wait, what? It's forward declared up over here though. That sounds a little awkward. Dang, okay, so we have a lot of issues here. Most of them are actually with the style entry stuff. Yeah, that's a hash string, that's true. So it doesn't like this because it's not actually an hash string. Maybe what I should do is something more like, here's an empty hashed empty string. Not quite what I want. Hashed string. Wait, what is it? Do we have a constructor that takes? Yeah, it's basically. Might need to expose that. Like a new one, which is the value. Do the same up here. But this is a UN32. Right. This should be fine. Oh, whoops. Not that. Okay, maybe not quite. So then I should be able to say, hey, this is an empty string that takes 0. And then we can say deleted key. Actually, wait, won't it be able to do the implicit conversion? So maybe I don't need these. I mean, it might be nice to support that, but I think it should now just work. Actually, I don't think I want them implicit. I think I will make these be explicit. Is there an order or like, yeah, okay, that works. I think either way should work, right? I think so. I love seeing how different developers react to errors. It's always unique. Huh. Oh, that could be. Oh, dang. I didn't think about that. That's kind of annoying. Map requires complete type of key and value. Yeah, I'll look at that. I'll get to that one in a minute. Thinking what I want to do for this. What I might need to do is actually do something along these lines to support this. And then I don't need the explicit. So I might want the explicit here, huh? Yeah. I would never want it to take a const-char pointer and be able to convert it into a hash string. We would want to specify that it should, like with this operator, string literal. Yeah, this is kind of annoying. Oh, I feel like there's a better way to do this. This is weird in that, like, I actually never really want anyone to use this. Um, yeah, I never would really want someone to use this. So maybe I should make it be private. And then, well, that would make things a little awkward. Hmm. Thinking. Oh yeah, that's true. What's it? Can't really make that private. It's annoying that this const-char conflicts with this UN64. It's annoying. The reason why I would never want someone to actually do this is because then you could have a wrong value for the string, right? I'm trying to think, like, how can we nicely have this string here? Or sorry, have these two different constructors and not have them conflicting with each other. Hmm. I was kind of thinking maybe what we could do is make a, here's a friend hash string, and that returns this. I don't really like that either. Like, we can technically do this, right? That feels weird. I mean, if we're going to be doing that, maybe we should just make this be something else, like value, I don't even know. Like, it's weird to do this, though. It's just weird. I don't like that at all. Um, what's the best way to handle that? I don't know. Maybe this is okay if we already have the value. Like, the problem is that there could be some weird conflict here where, like, the string and the value don't actually match up. Like, you know, we're passing in some invalid hashed value of the string. Add a static assert to what, make sure that the string is, I was kind of thinking that maybe we can do that. Maybe that is the best way. Static assert that either stir is equal to null pointer, or are you able to do ors and static asserts? Or value is equal to hash stir 64 of stir. I think you're not allowed to do ors, right? Stir must have a constant value. Okay, so maybe this should be just a normal assert. That's not right. Warning, use its undefined behavior. Yeah, well, the thing is that this could technically be valid. It's just like we want to make sure that either the string is a null pointer or it's equal to this thing. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. I don't have an assert util in here. I should probably make a better assert. I do kind of like the static assert, but that doesn't work with this, huh? But this says, well, it's optionally a const expression, right? I'm only calculating it in debug mode in that case, though, right? This overload doesn't make sense. Yeah. I mean, it kind of doesn't. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. basically what I need to do is create a key that is invalid, like that would never exist. And so that means that I need to not be using a real string here, because I don't want to hash a string. Like, I don't want to actually even call this hash function. I want to be able to set the value on a hash string, and that at construction time. And so that's why this is like super awkward and sucks. um I mean, it would work perfectly fine if const char star stir does not, like, these conflict, the uint64 and that. So I was like trying to come up with something else that we could use. Like, maybe I just need to add in some other like nonsense variable, which is like it's bool. I agree not to use this. uh, there we go. It's fixed. I love it. It's the best. This is like programming 200%. Programming power over 900. And I love it. I'm going to put false in there. We agree we're not going to. I mean, we don't agree we're going to use this. Did C++ get more boring? I know, right? I think that this is a good solution. I hate this with every ounce of my body. But I don't know what the like correct way to do this is. I will look later online to like see if there's a good way to handle this scenario. Maybe the case is that it's just bad design and like I need to rethink things or something. Like maybe that char pointer, this right here, maybe I shouldn't have a constructor for that, or I don't know. I mean, really, the only place I want to use it is right here. The reason I want to do this, and unfortunately I didn't do this before, is I need to do something like this. So our style sheet takes, like, I'm pretty sure it should complain if I try to do the 64, yeah, because we need that. So this should be a deleted key. Yeah. Fortunately, it will tell me any of the places that we're actually doing that. There's a lot of places where we are using the hashed version of the string instead, and that makes things a lot easier. So instead of the key being a hashed string, which has its own hashing function, which just returns the value of the hash string, we are using the value directly, and so yeah, it makes it a little easier. What was the error? Just that it can construct that. I don't know the exact error. I think it was up here somewhere. Yeah. Cannot convert int to const siege hashed string. Because the key is a style sheet ID, and the style sheet ID is a hashed string. But we're passing in 0 and 1. Okay, so yeah, we have this issue with the style sheet entry. That seems to be like the main problem here. It's saying that the reference to the class template instantiation, which is a UN32T to a style entry, that's the reference. So it's saying look at that. The issue is, and it's a nice error message. Yeah, here we go. C is the second of this thing is using an undefined struct. That's because it's defined here. Maybe what I need to do is just do a for declaration, right? Is that right? I mean, we already have it here. I don't think that's we have a for declaration up here. So I would think that would work. I guess not, because it's trying to create it or use it in this constructor. I guess that's the problem. Wait, no, we're not actually constructing it though. We are just mentioning it. Yeah, we're not actually using it here. It's probably because whenever we do this, it tries to set the empty key, huh? I bet that's it. But it can't because it doesn't know how to. Incomplete type is not allowed. So what, we can't have a map that points to itself? So yeah, I could use a pointer. That's true. That kind of sucks. I would prefer not to. I mean, that's just getting around it, right? I think it's because it's trying to use it as like the empty key or something. It's like, hey, I can't set this up because, yeah, and dang. I need it to be like this too. I guess I can use it as a pointer, so then, yeah, I don't like that. Really don't like that. But I don't know if there's a way around it. So if we go into here and we say, well, let's make a style entry map actually a pointer to style entry. Then, well, now we have to change it so that anywhere that we have a style entry map, we're adding stuff onto it. We have to treat it as a pointer. So style entry, entries, looks for the ID. Finds the result second. So this is now, that would be a pointer. The second dot value is a pointer. Style entry. So like this would no setup. Where is this being used at? I think that gets called up here, right? Yeah, that entry. So this entry is coming from the attributes. Attribute. So wait, isn't entry? Style entry map. Oh, right. Sorry. It's because we're getting a value from it, right? So this is a pointer, so that means that all of this stuff needs to change. And then, yeah, so then also we would need to change it so that way this takes a pointer instead. Oops, go back to here. So the style entry, all of those places, need to change. I wish there was a good way to go about doing this with visual like assist or something where you're like, it seems like a silly thing. I don't know, maybe there is a solution and I'm just being silly, but I don't know of any solutions where you can just say, hey, let's make this thing be a pointer, so like all of the dots need to change to, I don't know, whatever this is called, the arrow. Okay, and then we need to go to the CPP, and we need to update all of those, the style entries. So like, yeah, this is a pointer. So the thing is that, like, in this case, I think we need to actually create it, right? And that's where things get a little complicated. Style entry map. Okay, so we're creating that. We have unbelievable refactoring speed. What? Oh, so we need to change all of these too. You want to see? So here's like a way that I would normally, or I would do it faster. Let's go to here, go to style sheet dot CPP, and then you can look at these. This, or sorry, style entry, and you can say, okay, let's change all of these to be dot. Yeah. So like that's the faster way to do it. If you want to be fast. Yeah, so the problem is here is now this value is actually not necessarily set. So what I was doing is saying, like, having it create it if it didn't exist already, but we need to change that. ID hash. So I'm thinking what I would do is find it or look for it. If it doesn't exist, then we need to create it and add it, right? So we look for it. If this is not end, we might not want to call it end. I don't know. So if we did find it, we want to set. So I guess what we would do is we could just set this up here. And so if we did find it, so it's not at the end, then what we'd want to do is set the style entry equal to the style entry iter dereferenced, right? Or wait, that's wrong. Oh, sorry, that needs to be dot What is this exactly? Golden Smith, iterator. Thought I needed to dereference that, but happy dereferencer. Style entry pointer does not exist. No suitable conversion for a pair. Right, okay, so I need to get the second HT actual data. Okay, I haven't used the iterators before, so I'm not really sure how to use them. There's no like second. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. Right. It was. I think it was being weird, or maybe I was. Okay, so we're just trying to clean this up. So in this case, so here we found it. So this style entry already exists. For some reason, I don't think that this is typically going to happen. Most of the time we're going to be creating a new entry here. I think so. So what we need to do is probably just something like this where we say, hey, let's make a new style entry. And then we're going to set it here, style entry on the ID hash. And that should be good. So I think that fixes it all, but we do need to handle the scenario where we are destructing this and we need to clear out all of the entries in our style sheet, right? Right. So where does this all live? This is all living inside of attributes, right? M underscore attributes. So we are pulling out the attributes here and we are creating them here. So what I think I just need to do is add in a destructor that goes through all of our attributes and cleans it up. What is this? This is going to be the ID or the key and the attribute for the entries. Attribute entries. Const key pointer. I don't know if I actually want it to be const. Then we need to say for auto. We can do attribute key. Entry key and entry for our attribute entries. Hey Fibers, what's up? So in this case, we want to just say delete entry. And I think, yeah, we don't really want this to be const because we're going to go through all the entries in our attribute. And then I think, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's good practice, and maybe I'm wrong here, to clear out or like null it out basically after you're done. And in this case, we can just clear, or I guess what we could do is clear the entire thing. I don't see how, like, since this is the destructor, I don't see how, like, it's going to clear it out anyways, so I don't know if we really need to do that. But yeah. So yeah, we just need to clean that up. I don't know if we need to do that. I think it's good practice too, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's going to clear it anyways, right? Whenever it calls the destructor or whatever, or I don't know, it cleans it up. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not. Maybe we don't need to do that. I'm pretty sure that this actually ends up like doing nothing for us, so maybe that's just not necessary. I know it's good if we, I mean, it's not just good, it's almost necessary if this isn't the destructor and it's something else. Like, let's say that this was a shutdown function or something, because then you run the risk of calling it twice, and then you could accidentally delete something twice. But in the destructor, it's never going to accidentally call the destructor twice, so you don't need to do it. I think that's right. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of necessary if it's in a function that you're calling shutdown, because it's kind of hard to guarantee that it's only being called once, but for a destructor, it's not necessary. I don't know. Still figuring that stuff out. I'm just like, I'm kind of used to, you know, coming off of working on Kriya and using smart pointers where I'm like, they'll just clean it up when they're done. I don't know. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, let's see if this compiles. Hey, I think that's looking good. Got some errors, huh? I made it explicit. I don't know. I think I will actually end up getting rid of that. I mean, so to fix this, I could just say HS. But it's kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it good for me to make it so it's explicit? I think I'm going to make it so it's not. I changed my mind here. Let's make it so it's not explicit. I think I do like that. I was kind of playing around with some possibilities for things. I think I changed my mind. I think I do like it being explicit. So that way you don't have to specify the underscore HS. It's just like, what does it end up doing really? It just makes it so you have to type more. You have to type in additional 3 to 5 characters, depending on if it's a 64-bit or not. Steam is down. What a surprise. The sale just started. Steam summer sale. And it is dead. RIP. Okay, compiling. Go, 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 go. No issues. No errors, no warnings. No! This is an easy one though. It looks like we forgot to change these entries in here, setup, which is a pointer, yeah, so that's fine. And the HPP, so I should probably break and tell it to just rebuild because it's going to have to rebuild a bunch of files anyways. We're compiling here. We're going to test this out, and then we'll be switching over to projectDIG soon. 10 o'clock, so it's about time that we do so. Yep. So Steam is down, but pretty soon, I mean, it is live now, but Korea is on a 50% discount. Is this game cross-platform? Korea, yes. projectDIG, no, not right now. Maybe eventually, but it's not a priority whatsoever. All of the libraries I'm using are cross-platform. I don't think I'm writing any code that is platform specific, so hopefully porting will be fairly trivial. But yeah, right now I don't really care to try to make it cross-platform. Okay, one issue right now. So it's saying that we can't do this contains element by ID. Is an element map, which is a UN32. What's wrong with that? It says contains const uint ref cannot convert this pointer from element map to I'm missing something here. Just trying to use this key type, find the key type if it's not equal to the end. Google? Yeah, it's the Google dense hash map. That's what I'm using. So I'm trying to parse what this issue is exactly. It says it cannot convert this pointer from a const element map to... Oh, wait. I see what the problem is. My bad. Okay, that makes sense. I get it now. So the problem is that I'm saying that this is a const function, but contains is not specified as const. Fixed. Okay. That should fix it. Yeah, we're using Google Dense Hashmap. There we go. Which is this right here. Sparse hash. Hey, we fixed it. Cool. So unfortunately I changed the header, which means that we're gonna have to recompile a bunch of stuff. But then it should be good. I want to run this and test it out and see how it is. One of these days, we will look into trying to make our compile time faster. One of these days. I actually saw for Soul. Compile time. He mentions the compile time for this. When you bind lots of user types, put them in a single translation unit so that it is not recompiled multiple times over, only to be discarded later by the linker. Yeah. Consider placing groups of bindings in multiple different translation units so that only part of the bindings are recompiled when you have to change the bindings. People who already have a tool that retrieves function signatures and arguments might be in your best interest to hook into that tool or generator and dump out the information once using Sol 3's lower level abstraction. Okay, that is that. Yeah. I'm already doing that for the most part. Like, I'm not putting stuff in the header or anything. Seems to take a bit to compile. Yeah, it does. One of the problems is, well, I think one of the biggest problems is with my UI, which is something that we've been changing a lot. And just the whole idea of having inheritance kind of sucks. Where it's like every single, like if I change element.h, everything has to be recompiled. Like, or element group, a lot of things have to be updated. Or stylesheet.h, that's used in all of the files. And that's just where it really hurts, because I'm having to make these changes to these header files that are like used in a lot of places, and so I have to recompile a ton. Fortunately, we're pretty much done with our UI for now, so I won't have to be dealing with that. It's pretty much done now. But yeah, like almost all of this is UI stuff, and that's just because of I don't know. I feel like this UI, it was okay design, but it definitely suffers from a few things, such as that. So don't change those. Dang. I should have thought of that. Okay, cool. Hey, it compiles. Awesome. Let's see if it actually runs. Oh. It doesn't run. What's the style sheet reloads? Hash string. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why that explicit thing was actually kind of nice. Because this is invalid. I need to say this is a hash string empty key. So I probably should look at all the places that I'm doing this. Wait, what is it? I guess it would be something like this. Is that the only place that we do that? Okay, and then I know, I guess that might be it, actually. Let's just try that. So the problem is that it's converting 0 into a const-char pointer. And it's just saying basically, oh, it's a null pointer. But I don't want that. I need to have it be the empty key. Oh no. So it looks like we broke everything. Okay, let's look at this now. Style sheet, setup. So what's the actual issue? We always need to know what's empty. So we have not set up the empty key on this entry. Is that what it's saying? I think that's it, but I thought that we, in attributes, or in the CPP file, we definitely set that up here. Set empty key. So I don't think it's actually that. Okay, here we go. We can see here it says that it's a unsigned int style entry pointer. So it's actually this value in here, the entry in our attributes, that's the thing that yeah, so we haven't set up named up value. Oh, maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe that's the problem. You know what? That might be it. Is that it's trying to create it and it doesn't exist. So we should probably add in a check. I think that's going to be the fix. So what should we do? We should say, hey, let's find that auto iter if attribute iter is not equal to the end of attributes, then we will use it. What is that? We want to second, yeah. I think what it was doing was creating a new map, but it wasn't being set up properly. And we have to compile again. Let's see if Steam is working now. Probably not. Yeah, and see, that's what I was talking about. We had to change the stylesheet.hpp, which is included in everywhere because this is how we set up our element styling stuff. Yeah, it sucks. Curse you, templated things. Yeah, seems like Steam is still dead. Okay, fortunately we have to recompile everything. Dang. Same issue still, or somewhere else? Ah, looks like elsewhere. Yeah, but it's going to be the same problem, which is that this group UID does not exist, right? Oh yeah, here I'm actually, wait. Vertices. Oh, I don't think I ever set that. Oh, whoops. Okay, fortunately this is an easy fix. I never set that. So this is the texture resource. So it's the same thing as these over here. Okay, yeah. I just overlooked that one. So empty key is bgfx valid handle. And then we also want to set the deleted key same way. It's nice that it crashes and tells us that we aren't setting it. Earlier I read that it said like your program will mysteriously crash or something, and it made me worried. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I mean, like, does it just sometimes not work or whatever? Hey, Seeds victory, yeah, it works. Nice, excellent. Cool. So we are now done doing that, finally. Dig. Hope it works when you show it to your boss. It never does, right? It never does. Okay, so we want to pull in pretty much everything, right? for that. We don't need any of that stuff, but we want all of this. Oh wait, minus the physics. We want that one. There's a handful of things that we don't want currently. Okay, and then we want to add all of that as well. Say converted hash maps and sets to Google dense hash map and set. Beautiful. Yay, bonsai. So that means, guess what? We can finally mark that off as completed. I think technically have the string hash table figured out, so I'm gonna mark that off as being done as well. Like I have it working. I don't know, it's kind of a prototype. I think it's good though. So awesome. That's a good place to end on for the day for our projectDIG section. I'm going to be moving over to Korea, so if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, thank you for joining the projectDIG Day 66 development stream. If you're not following already, feel free to follow, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're more than welcome to subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll continue to work on things. I know what I'm going to be working on, but I'll save that for tomorrow. So yeah, if you're taking off, have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow.